Hey, this is Sam Metter from Xanthocroid, and I'm going to show you how to play the chorus from my arrangement of Kids by MGMT. Alright, the first thing we're going to need to do is tune our guitars to open D9 tuning, and that goes like this: D, A, D, F sharp, A, E. So you're probably going to have to retune quite a few times throughout this tutorial because strings tend to go out of tune when you detune them that much. So we're going to just focus on the chorus today, and if you noticed, basically my right hand is taking care of a lot of the melody up here, and I'm tapping on the strings, and sometimes I'm plucking open strings. The best thing you can do is download the tab in the description so you can follow along a little more closely with my instructions. We're going to go over the melody in the right hand first here. What we do is we start by plugging the open B string, which is now tuned to A. We're going to go pluck that open with our middle finger, and then we're going to tap on the 9th fret of the D string. We're going to go back to the open B string, and then tap on the 11th fret of the D string, and play the open E string, high E. And if you'll notice I'm kind of using just 2 fingers in my right hand to tap, and what I'm doing is I'm gripping the fretboard with the rest of my fingers, kind of with my thumb and my pinky and ring finger, just so that I hold the guitar in place. I don't push it out of the way. Helps you to grip down better. So again, that's the open B string, tap down on the 9th fret of the D string, back to the open B string, then to the 11th fret of the D string, and an open E. Okay, the next step we kind of just play normally for just a second here. And that's just a D major chord. All we've got up here is the 2nd fret on the high E string. We're going to hammer on the 4th fret, pull off again to 0, and then we're going to slam down the 11th fret on the D string. Okay, and that gets us through the first part of the melody here. After that's when it gets a little crazy and we have to use both hands. So I'm going to go over just how we do the left hand for this first part here. So just the left hand, we're outlining a chord progression that goes F sharp, D, A, and then an E. So we go the 4th fret, open, 7th fret, 2nd fret. And what I'm kind of doing with my left hand is making sort of a clamp with my pointer finger and my thumb. Makes it a lot easier to grip, so wherever I'm pressing down on the fretboard, I've got my thumb on the back to make that go a little easier. And when you're playing this style, you kind of develop a new sort of callus, even if you're a classical player like me, because of the tapping and the pressure that you're putting on your finger when you tap down. With both your left hand and your right hand, it kind of bruises your fingers, so it takes a while to get used to. It's a new sort of callus you have to build up. When we put our left hand and our right hand together, we got to pay attention to what's happening simultaneously. Sort of if you're a piano player, you know what I'm talking about. So we start off, we do that open B string, if you remember how the right hand goes. We do that open B string, and we're going to slam down the 4th fret on the left hand. This is just sort of the first step in putting these hands together. We can just hold down that 4th fret, and then we're going to play. And we go to the 7th fret, and that's where I'm going to stop right now. Making sure you're getting that rhythm right. Okay, so now we're going to try to do some slaps with the left hand. When I slap the guitar up here, basically I'm using 3 fingers, my pointer, middle, and ring fingers. And here's how the rhythm goes for the slaps on the first part. And then we just do open, 7th fret, Alright, so now what we need to do is you need to make sure that this doesn't happen. Right? We don't want to pull off to the open. So you've got to use the fingers that are behind your pointer finger to mute the strings as soon as you pull off. So we've got to lay those fingers on the strings so that we don't have open strings ringing out. So there's a little syncopation with the taps in the left hand. So you got to really focus on putting them together here. The right hand and the left hand. I'm going to go through it really slowly what happens together. So we already know we start out like that. When we tap down on the 9th fret of the D string with the right hand, we slap the guitar, and then we're going to go back to the open B string, and we go back to the 4th fret. Okay, the next step. So we go to the 11th fret all by itself, and then we go to the open E string, and we're going to tap it with our left hand. So that gets us to when we go down to the D chord here. There's one thing we add in here. We're going to take our right hand thumb and hit the lower part of the body of the guitar. And then we pull off to 0. And this is where things get really tricky. So up to here, if you've got up to there, you're in pretty good shape. And we're just going to take it to the next level from here. Alright, so we're going to use our right hand to roll on the bottom of the body of the guitar. Do a little 16th note triplet down here. So that's when we're on the 7th fret in the left hand. We have to learn how to do this roll with your right hand. It's sort of like a flamenco thing. And we slap really quickly at the top of the guitar here. Back to here. And we're going to do a harmonic on the 12th fret using only our right hand. If you're not familiar with this technique, what you do is you can take your pointer finger or your middle finger and lay it gently on the 12th fret of the B string, just like you were going to do a harmonic, and you're going to use your thumb to pluck the string. Takes a little bit of practice. I like to use my middle finger, gently place it on the 12th fret. It's going to take a little bit of practice if you're not familiar with that to get it just right. So after we've got that, roll. We hit the lower part of the body of the guitar with the palm of our right hand. Okay, now we're going to slam down on the 2nd fret with our left hand, and on the 4th fret of the high E string with our right hand. And we do a cool little slide there. So we go. Now we hit the body of the guitar by itself, and then we're going to play the open E string when we jump back to the 2nd fret. And then when we do that slide, we go 4, 5, 4, and pull off. Okay, and when we slide back to that 4, that's when we hit the body of the guitar. And pull off to 0 with our right hand. Okay, and that's pretty much the first half of the chorus. That's as far as I'm going to go today. Alright, so that's pretty much the hardest part of the song. If you can get the chorus, you can probably figure out the rest of the song if you download the tab.